Big and Blizz podcast, episode 29 to be exact. You already know the deal. Big Mike and Blizzy. We got to get into the All-Star game, the All-Star weekend, I should say, for the NBA. So we had, talked about the All-Star MVP trophy last episode, talking about it was in honor of Kobe Bryant and all that stuff. But the outcomes of each event, besides the skills challenge, I don't know about that right now. So Karl Anthony Towns, a center for the was it Milwaukee? No, not who the fuck? Timberwolves. Thank you. The Timberwolves won the 3-point shootout competition, and this is the first time in, I believe, the history of the NBA that a center, a big, has won that competition.
The only other big I can think of offhand, and he's not a center, obviously.
Yeah.
Is
Larry Bird, power forward, right?
Yeah.
Small forward, power forward.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man didn't even take off his warm up. He said, "Who's coming in second?"
I heard that he went to the locker room. Legends talked about that. Walked in the locker room and said, "Who's coming in second?" And obviously he went out there and
never took the warm up off.
Yeah, went out there and just annihilated the shit. But Karl Anthony Towns, the first center, first big to win the 3-point competition. So which is crazy.
The Cavs team won the skills challenge. I looked it up real fast.
Thank you. Because it was the Antetokounmpo brothers versus the Cavs, right?
And then there was a third
G League team or no?
Yeah, I don't remember who the third one was, but yeah, the Cavs
don't matter. But
won it.
The dunk competition, as we or more Big Mike over here predicted, which we already knew.
Oh, it was the rookie trio. Sorry.
Okay.
It was. So it was the Cavs, the Antetokounmpo family, and then the Rooks was the other team.
Gotcha.
With Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey, and Scotty Barnes.
Gotcha. So the Cavs won that one.
Yeah, the team. Yeah.
Okay, so Obi Toppin won a very underwhelming dunk competition. Like it's just gotten shittier and shittier. And like you said last week, you had some rule changes you'd like to see. We even said, Adam Silver and NBA hit us up and let Big Mike come over here and restructure your dunk competition. Obviously, if you want to hear more of that, go back to the last episode and you'll hear Big over here ranting about that. But
it's sad. It's sad when you see guys like Shaq. Like I didn't watch it live.
We were talking about this earlier.
But I watched the highlight. Literally in the highlights, they show Shaq like
bored,
unamused.
Yeah.
Like this man is unamused at the dunk competition.
Right.
And the most ecstatic person you could see was Steph, and the only reason he was happy is because his teammate
Juan Toscano-Anderson
was moving through the ranks. Man came in second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His jersey was fire.
Oh, that
black Dubs jersey
with
City Knights.
Yeah, with on the back it had the Mexican flag colors in his name and number on the back.
Number 95. Yep.
That's a dope jersey.
And
honestly, you know how they do different nights, charity city nights or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be dope if they did a heritage night, just NBA wide. I'm not talking just Dubs, but and they did that on the back of everybody, where your heritage is from, Italian.
Oh, so you're talking about individual players?
Yeah.
Because I was they do a heritage night for the Dubs, but it's always I believe Chinese.
Yeah, they do a Chinatown. They have the
because the Asian population, I think in particular, if I'm not mistaken, the Chinese population in the Bay Area and LA, California in whole is very large.
In the Bay Area,
Bay Area is huge. Same with LA, but the Bay Area is huge.
But I think it would be cool if they did a heritage night and
each player had their own flag in the number.
Yeah, on the back you could see the Italian flag, or if you're American, you get the American red, white, and blue colors.
Absolutely.
Or where I don't know all the colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the red, white, and green for the Mexican flag. So for those of you that don't know, JTA is what they call him, Juan Toscano-Anderson. He's born and raised in Oakland, a lifelong fan of the Golden State Warriors, came up through the G League and has proven himself with the Warriors. But the jersey he was wearing, the uniform, is the city uniform, I believe, is what they call it, that the Warriors have been using, and it's all black with yellow or white numbers, and they've worn it a lot this season. His, on the other hand, was a custom City Knights Warriors jersey or uniform, where the back, his number 95 and his last name, which is Toscano, was it hyphen?
On his back, it just says Toscano.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say Toscano Anderson on it.
So the inside would usually be white or yellow, but in this case, it was the colors of the Mexican flag for his heritage, and it was a badass jersey. It really was.
Honestly, like I mean, we all know I'm not a Warriors fan, but that jersey was like. I might buy that jersey.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like if that was like a jersey,
and you're not Mexican either, and it's still a badass jersey in your opinion.
Yeah,
right?
no, like literally, as soon as I saw it, I knew. I knew exactly what it was.
I guarantee you probably could. Well, I can't say guarantee you probably, but I'm pretty sure you could probably find it on the internet for sale.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like I literally, the second I saw it, I knew what it represented. It's
Absolutely.
one of those things where it's like, it just triggered that, and I was like, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, it was. And he ended up coming in second in the competition, which is cool just to have a young guy. Yeah, it's quote air quotes competition. But like I said, Obi Toppin won. But we've always known that Obi Toppin was a high flyer. Like Obi was a name that you weren't surprised to see. JTA again won. JTA was a fresh face. And then I honestly I couldn't even tell you who the other contestants were because it was that underwhelming.
We had Jalen Green, the rookie.
Well, that's someone who didn't he try the same? He tried to get that dunk off like 5 times, missed every one of them.
There was
he
Toscano had one too where he tried it a few times and missed.
But this one I'm talking about, it was from
and I think
the baseline.
Obi even had one.
It was a lot of misses.
I think Obi even had one where he missed a few times too, or in the earlier rounds.
Yeah,
and my big thing is I told you. And not even going to piggyback on last week, but when I watched it, I feel like the problem is we're seeing dunks in a dunk competition that we see in games now.
Yeah, like across the board a lot.
Like I'm not saying like we see between the leg dunks every game,
but fast breaks, you see it once a week probably.
But we've seen these windmills and these crazy dunks on fast breaks from guys like Zach LaVine, LeBron, all these guys that dunk all the time. Even the guys that are in the dunk competition. We see these dunks from these guys.
Gary Payton II. Yeah.
We see these dunks. And so that, to me, is like, that's why it's
nothing spectacular.
Because when Vince Carter did
the
honey dip.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
The honey dip. We had never seen the honey dip before in a game.
Michael Jordan from the free throw line, tongue out, legs spread kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Or no, legs weren't spread. They were kind of bent. Like,
you didn't see that stuff in game. Now dudes hit a honey dip. Like, that shit, like, you see that shit at the Y now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Type of shit. Like, the honey dip, not even that big of a deal anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. The game has progressed that and then gotten physical that much.
When you got fucking Myles Garrett out here yamming shit, windmilling shit.
The celebrity game, he would have won the dunk competition, huh?
And then you got fucking, what's his fuck?
Oh, the Peloton instructor,
No, he won the MVP. Alex
Toussaint.
Alex Toussaint. And then
you're talking about the high jumper. The high jumper.
The high jumper, that's who it was.
The Olympic gold medalist high jumper. That came in and...
That man yammed it.
The rebound alley-oop, one-handed. Yeah, that was tough.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got guys... if non-basketball guys can do dunks like that...
Yeah.
Like...
It's crazy. It's just underwhelming is what it is. And the thing that you were saying, what a dunk that could have been possibly 9s or 10s, but was... in our opinion, a 6 or 7. It was a great dunk, but the ferocity.
Yeah, like that's one thing. Like
Obi just kind of he went for a windmill and then kind of just bloop,
I feel like
yam in the rim.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like they try to do all this stuff, and then by the time they put it into the rim, they're already on the way down.
Yeah.
So they don't even have enough force to do anything like crazy like that.
Yeah, they weren't yamming it in. They weren't like there was no ferocity.
Yeah, like Myles Garrett, you watch his dunk.
In the celebrity game.
Pulled the rim down with himself.
Yeah, tried fucking shacking that shit.
I mean, man tried to shatter a backboard.
Right.
That's what, like, in the dunk competition.
And been shattering pelvises. I don't know, I'm talking shit. Dumb joke.
But I'm saying, like, if you think about it, in a dunk competition, if you saw a guy go between his legs and dunk it, and he barely got the dunk down, or you saw a guy hit a 360 and he just
slammed
blew the fucking rim up,
like it owed him money.
Which one's better?
I mean, Myles Garrett, he
man hit it barely. I mean, honestly, man looked like he was barely getting
like
off the
tomahawk.
ground. He literally took one step, one dribble, and like did this
off
one
both feet,
one hand little tomahawk. I honestly thought it was better than 75% of the dunks in the dunk competition.
You know what it looked like? That dunk where it was kind of a tomahawk.
Yeah.
Was like when he hit fucking Rudolph in the head with the helmet.
He got all that same force.
Hey, that's why they brought him into the celebrity game, because he couldn't go to the competition, the dunk competition. They're like, damn, I bet you he can dunk the way he pulled Rudolph's helmet off and tomahawked him with it. Bow.
He did, bro.
It was the same for ferocity. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, honestly, like, his dunk had more force on it than probably every single dunk competition dunk.
Absolutely. But we got to get into the GOAT, the shooter, the one who changed the game. And during the dunk competition, you saw Giannis and Steph on the side, or I can't say sideline, I'm football terminology, on the side of the court. And Giannis was poking Steph and doubled over laughing at him, saying, because they were joking about how whack the competition was, the dunk competition. And Giannis was telling him in his Greek accent, you did this, you ruined the game, you did this. Because, for those of you that know or don't know, Steph is a three-point shooter. He's revolutionized the game and changed it to the point to where people want to shoot and they're not all about driving and dunking, and close shots. So he was joking with him, telling him that he ruined the game and it changed the game to the point that people shoot and don't dunk, and that's why the dunk competition is getting shittier. But speaking of Steph, oh boy, went off. The chef was cooking during the All-Star game. He scored 50 points and had 16 3-pointers made. He only had one shot that was inside the 3-point boundary. 50 points and 16 of them were off 3-pointers. He set a record. You have the stats on that? Didn't you say he set a quarter record?
It was a quarter record at 6, a half record at 8.
Was it 8?
And then the game record
at 16.
At 16.
And he almost, if he would have hit one more 3, he would have broke the game record for most points scored in an All-Star game, which belongs to Anthony Davis in 2017 with 52 points.
Yep.
So, and after the game, they had asked Steph about the most points scored in a single game for the All-Star game record, and he said, I was trying. Did you not see me shooting? I was trying. But he had missed a lot of his last 3-pointers.
Right,
your arms have got to be tired by that.
Well, and that's the thing is, so you could literally, when you had me watch, because obviously I didn't watch the game, I was at work.
Your work, yeah.
He had told me, hey, watch LeBron's like game finishing. You can't even call it a game winning shot, I guess, because there's no time. So game finishing shot, and literally the sequence that I watched started with a Curry miss, and then the announcers were like, Curry's missed like 4 in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the other team goes down, hits a 3, and then LeBron hits a little fadeaway, bang, bang, in 2 people's eyes, game over. So it's
that was prime LeBron that we saw. It seemed like prime LeBron.
Yeah, well,
that was a dope shot.
So it wasn't that Curry wasn't trying to set the record.
Yeah, break it or whatnot. And he said he was actually going for that because they had mentioned it throughout the game. He needs one more shot, and one more shot, depending if his 2 would have tied, a 3 would have broke the record. He was trying. He was shooting lights out up until that last part. But my thing is, your arms have to be gelling.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, his a lot less than ours, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, imagine like
stamina and shit.
Yeah, I mean, if he made 16, how many did he shoot?
You know what? I don't think he shot like a stupid amount.
So at halftime, he was 8 for 11.
Oh, okay. So you got to pull it up.
I just have the 8 for 11 at half because he almost broke the 3-point record at halftime.
Gotcha.
He had 24 at half and 8 for 11 shooting from deep.
That's crazy.
But I mean,
what was the record before 10?
No, I don't know.
And also, like, people don't understand is when you shoot, especially the farther you shoot from, they think it's all upper body. It's just arms. No, you have to push off with your legs too. And then running up and down the court for, the time that you're in the game, that's, your legs start getting tired. And then every shot you take, especially the farther, your legs get more and more tired. So by the end of the game, not only are your legs tired, your arms are tired, you're tired, so you have the stats. I can look it up if you want me to, the stats on the game.
Well, I'm trying to see who has the second now.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna look up the stats on the actual All-Star game if I can find them. But Steph ended up winning he's the first recipient of the Kobe Bryant All-Star trophy, because it's the first year that it was the All-Star trophy, and it's crazy. But I honestly didn't know if they were going to give it to LeBron because it was in Cleveland and it's LeBron and he had the game finishing shot. But
I honestly think if Steph wouldn't have gone off like he did, they might have tried to sway it.
Gotcha. So Steph was 16 for 27 from 3. So he shot 27 3-pointers and made 16 of them.
That's wild.
That is really what's the percentage on that? He was 17 for 30 from the field. He made 1 2-pointer.
16 for what?
For 27. 16 for 27.
So divided by 27 is almost 60%.
Okay, which is fucking crazy.
Oh,
for
100
3-point.
For 3-point, 100%.
And he had 50 points. Second place was Giannis Antetokounmpo with 30 points. LeBron had 24, still great numbers, especially in an All-Star game. And then DeRozan and Jokic had 10 points each.
So I pulled up like All-Star stats for the game.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing that I'm looking at breaks down most MVPs.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant tied with Bob Pettit.
Gotcha.
Bob Pettit's from like the 50s.
Yeah. Back when they dribbled like hunched over.
Yeah.
And
most All-Star selections, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 19.
Yeah, and Kobe has 18. And in 20 seasons, and one of them he was injured.
Yeah, and so most consecutive selections goes to LeBron with 18.
Of course.
Most games played, Kareem. Most games started, LeBron with 18.
So my thing is, with the way LeBron's played this season, do you think he was All-Star caliber? I don't. I think his name is carrying him.
No, I don't. I 100% agree that his name is carrying him.
Not only did he not have the gameplay to make the All-Star team, definitely should have been a fucking captain.
No, I don't think he should have. This is crazy right here. So most points scored in a career for All-Star games, LeBron James.
Yeah.
389 points.
In 18?
In 18.
What did that average out to? But
listen to this. Most points per game in a career with a minimum of 3 games played.
Steph?
Is Giannis.
Oh yeah.
With 29 points is his average.
Another one?
Yeah. And then obviously we know the most points in a game is Anthony Davis. Most points in a half is also Anthony Davis with 30.
Probably just dunked everyone or laid it.
Most points in a quarter, though, was Steph Curry. He had 21 points in a quarter.
Fuck.
So that means if he had 24 points at halftime...
No shit, huh?
Did man only score 3 in one of those first quarters?
Well, no. He might have scored... If he had 24 at halftime, he might have scored 12 and... If it broke down, 12 and 12, and then 24 in the third. You know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, 21. So most minutes for a career in the All-Star, LeBron James was almost 500 minutes.
Because he won't pull himself out. He's the captain, remember?
And then most minutes in a game, there's a 4-way tie between Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Jerry West, and Nate Thurmond. They've all played 42 minutes.
The whole game. Well, now you can't really calculate minutes now. Because the last quarter, these last 2 seasons or 3, have been untimed. So, for all we know, LeBron might have played 50 minutes, you know?
Right.
But again, it's just fucking irritating that just because LeBron's still in the NBA, he's still making All-Stars. Hey, Kobe missed an All-Star. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like
your favorite point guard has the most assists in All-Star career.
That's why he fucking got in. I guarantee that's why.
That's probably why.
The point god. I respect the fuck out of this man's actual skill.
Now that I see this, it has to be something.
We searched it earlier and couldn't find out. So Chris Paul is who he's talking about. The little fucking snake rat bitch. Anyways, he got injured leading up to All-Star break. He was on the team. Knew he couldn't play. He's out for a couple weeks. Fractured his hand or something, right?
So supposedly they knew his thumb was injured, but the MRI wasn't happening till after All-Star weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, he hadn't put on full injury list.
Yeah,
is the whole what I read.
So they knew they manipulated shit. They knew he was gonna be out for a few weeks of the actual season.
6 to 8 weeks is what it's been ruled as now.
They knew he was gonna be out before the All-Star break or before the game, and so during the game, he literally checked himself in for one play, checked himself in the game to get one assist. And then when he got that, he checked himself out. And we couldn't find out why that was such a big deal. And now it makes sense when Big Mike just reads off that he holds a record for most assists in All-Star games for, the history. Because that was probably the one that either tied or put him over the record.
Yeah, it had to have.
Had to have. There's no other fucking reason you're going to be injured and your team is going to even let you, especially when your coach is one of the, you're on the Suns and your Suns coach is Monty.
Yeah.
Is coaching the All-Star game. He's going to tell you sit your fucking ass down.
Yeah, you want to hear this?
We need you for the season.
Here it is.
All right, let's hear it.
I looked at the list. Chris Paul has 128 assists now.
Okay.
Guess what second place is?
128.
127. Magic Johnson.
Got you. So he checked and so he got 2 assists.
One of the past Magic Johnson.
He won pass. So he got probably either 2 or 3 assists. He was either down by 1 or he was tied. He was down by 1 or he was tied, and that's why he checked himself in. Actually, look, I've got the shit pulled up right here. Paul had, listen to this, 0 points, 0 rebounds. Is that 0 assists? Hold on. No, it says he had 0 assists. I think he had 0 assists in this game.
So what was the point of it?
But yeah, he had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. He was 0 for 1 from field, played 2 minutes. And what's PF? What the fuck am I missing here? What's PF on the stats?
Points for?
He had 0. Let me see. So yeah, I don't know what the fucking deal with this. No points for would be 1. He had 1. And then the plus or minus, he's -2.
That makes no sense. Like, what
was the point of? Was it maybe incentives from the team? Maybe the incentives was he had to play at least 1 possession in the All-Star game to get a bonus. No,
maybe. That's possible. Or
maybe because he is the assist leader, he's got assists in every single All-Star game. He came in trying, but why would he not get one? Leave without getting one?
Well, so the thing is, if you think about it, there was we read an article last week, that NFL player that was complaining because he didn't get selected to the All NBA or the All NFL team, and so he missed out on like
the bonus. Who was that?
I don't remember, but so maybe he was chasing a
bonus.
A bonus, yeah.
It was Jesus, who was that? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but maybe that's why.
It doesn't make sense after looking at the numbers, the stats and shit.
You would think like he was chasing what do you call it? He was chasing the record, but if he didn't get
he was already
stats,
two ahead of the record.
One.
Oh,
because it's 127 and 128.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, yeah. So I figured he went in with 126 or 127. Either he needed two to break the record, or he was tied and wanted to break the record.
Yeah, but he didn't get any stats.
Nothing. He was 0 for 1 for shots.
Makes no sense.
No sense. But Chris Paul doesn't make any fucking sense in general. But anyway, staying on the All-Star, I mean, do you have more on that?
No, I mean, that's...
Staying on the All-Star hype. So, if you don't know, LaMelo Ball is signed to Puma. He's got exclusive shoe rights or what would you call it? Not just shoes. Accessory, clothing deal. A shoe deal with Puma. Puma. And leading up to the All-Star game, they had an All-Star party kind of thing. And Puma threw a party for LaMelo, and they gifted him with this dope-ass, looks like platinum or white gold and diamond pennant and chain, and it says, it's a big star, and it has the Puma in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can see the Puma. It's honestly, if it was me, the only thing I would have changed, looks dope, maybe the Puma in like a different color.
Yeah.
Just because it kind of blends in. But yes, the Puma's jumping through
it says All-Star Mellow on it. And from what the reports say, $80,000 chain. But at the same time, like, that's dope. That's fucking Puma, we talked about, takes care of their...
well, they have... I mean, if you really think about it...
No, but they take care of their guys more than... Sorry, go ahead.
What I was going to say is their pool is smaller.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, Nike has... all these people.
Jordan brand.
Jordan has all these
when
people.
Jordan signs you, they're like, look, you're getting paid. Be happy you're getting, like NFL, you're getting these cleats on, like, all these cool-ass retros, and you're getting all the free the exclusive shoes. Fucking be happy you're on Jordan and you're getting this shit. Puma's like, look, we appreciate you.
Especially in the basketball realm.
Oh, yeah.
Because Puma's huge in soccer.
Yeah.
Puma's like in the soccer world, whether it's MLS or
Puma is Nike over there, huh?
Yeah, they are.
And then Adidas, Adidas is what they call them.
Yeah, like that. Those things are. But in the basketball world, Puma's not really.
They're lower. Converse used to be what it was in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Dude, honestly, I couldn't even imagine running
in Chucks. Fuck that.
No support.
No.
Just flat ass shoe.
That's crazy. But you probably felt like there's nothing if you like barefooted. Probably run faster in a sense.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, but I mean, in this day and age, I'm like, man, running on fucking.
You know that Puma and Adidas, the owners, the founders of each, were brothers, and one was older brother, little brother, and I think the little brother recruited the older brother to work for him. With Adidas, and they were making, at first it was like work shoes and all this shit. This is back in Germany before World War I or II. I'm not good with history. And then the World War happened, and they needed everybody to stop doing what they were doing to make other things, like for they took over. They used their factories for other things.
Yeah.
And after the war ended or something, the brothers split, and there's this town in Germany where the small river separates them, and they're at war. The Puma factory's on one side, they were. Sorry, I don't know if they are now. The Adidas factory was on the other, and there were two brothers, and it was like gang rivalries.
Yeah,
it was bad. I'm sure you probably knew about it. You're a sports fanatic like I am, and watch documentaries, but it's crazy. So Puma was born off Adidas, and then Adidas, I think, was the first one during the World War time to where the Olympics were over there in Germany, and Adidas was smart enough that they went to the Olympics and started handing their shoes out like, hey, wear our shit, and they actually signed the first African American athlete, and it was it Jesse Owens, I believe, the track star. And I could be fucking this all up, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I think that was his name. The one that went to Germany and pretty much he put the middle finger to.
Did he put his fist up?
No, he didn't put up his middle finger, but
no, it wasn't. But he did some kind of symbol of solitude, kind of or whatnot. I believe it was Jesse Owens, but Adidas was there pounding ground and giving their cleats out for these runners and saying, "Hey, we want you to be seen in these. These will make you run faster."
Owens,
Jesse Owens. So I was right. And was it Adidas or Puma? I'm pretty sure it was Adidas. Let's see. Big's looking it up. Big is always a great fact checker, but yeah, Adidas did their due diligence, and they were the first shoe company back in the day to sign an African American athlete. And this is during one of the world wars, to where that shit was frowned upon. But I salute them for that. But yeah, so that's the history on that. Just a little segment in sports history or shoe history.
Yeah, so Adidas went to the 1936 Summer Olympics in Nazi Germany.
Not yet, Nazi Germany.
When Adi, A-D-I,
that's the brother that
Dassler,
Adidas. That's what it stands for.
Founder of the new German shoe company, Adidas, or Adidas as
Americans have called it,
approached Owens and convinced him to wear his leather track shoe with extra long spikes. He agreed and became the first African American athlete to ever receive a sponsorship.
I killed that shit. I knew I was right on something. Well, I didn't know. I was pretty sure. But shout out to Adidas. Just like Americans, most Americans say Porsche, and it's actually Porsche.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Puma was, it was born off of Adidas or whatnot. But like you said, when they sign somebody, they really hold them near and dear and do more for them. And what they did for Melo was dope. Even though Melo has probably brought them millions, so that $80,000 chain is a drop in the bucket kind of thing, But still, that's still cool. And Melo's his new Rick and Morty fucking Puma RS, or his one of ones, that his exclusive. He's got the Rick and Morty shoes like my son wants. One's neon fucking green and one's a bright red. Shits are hot. I was like, shit, I might want some. But because I'm a shoe fanatic, that. I'm a shoe buff. I got Jordan 11s, exclusives. I just picked up the Nipsey Hussle Puma RSs to match my marathon clothing and Paper Planes hat and shit. That's the first pair of Pumas that I can, in my adult life, have bought, But anyways, that was the
what's funny?
Puma Melo thing.
The whole Puma, he has one red, one green. Back in the day, literally, I knew kids in basketball. You'd have to buy 2 pairs of shoes to get that different color look. I literally, when playing basketball in high school and stuff, I knew kids that literally they would buy 2 pairs of shoes, and so they could wear one right of a weird color and one left of a weird color, just to do some shit. And so I think it's weird now that, not weird, I guess it's cool now that Melo's out here releasing shoes that are like that.
Yeah, the Generation Z. I don't think he's the first one to do it, but he's the first big.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it's funny because back when I was in high school and stuff, players that wanted to wear opposite, if you wanted to wear 2 different color shoes, you had to buy 2 pairs of shoes.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And it, obviously, you get the same exact shoe, just 2 different colorways.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get them like how it is now, it's still obviously I'm 37, so it's hard. I would love to own a pair of those Rick and Mortys and rock them. I like Rick and Morty, but I don't watch it.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I've watched.
I don't watch it, so I don't know.
I've watched an episode or 2 because everybody was hyped on it. And it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. The shoe. Have you seen the shoes?
Oh, the shoes.
The shoes are fucking wet.
The shoes, It
would be hard for me to wear though because I've got OCD with my Tourette's and shit. It'd be hard.
Well, and to me, it's the colorways, that red and that green. It's What do I wear? A Christmas tree?
Well, he also has attire, Puma, Rick and Morty attire.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying.
But you'd have to spend, because right now you can't buy the shoes unless you go to like StockX or shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're going for about $300 to $400 a pair. So you'd have to be on this hype beast shit and buy the shoes and then buy a matching outfit that all the Puma.
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
Spending like $1,000 on one outfit.
Just to rock these Rick and Morty Pumas.
I spend $300 on a pair of shoes. They're 11s, but they go with a lot of different shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those Rick and Mortys. If you bought them, you have to build an outfit for it.
Well, that's like me. Like, and you. I don't know how. It's been a long time since we've gone shoe shopping together, but we usually build the outfit. We find the shoes before we even buy them. We go make sure, like when we've gone to the mall.
Yeah.
Remember when you had those pink fucking Nikes, or
yeah,
they're black with the pink, and those shits were hot, and they were hot pink, the kind of right. Like,
yeah.
They were like a magenta pink.
Yeah.
But you go and you see the shoes, and you're like, all right, I know I'm gonna get them, but let me go see what fit I can buy, or go on your phone real fast. Let me see what fit I can get to match, because I'm not gonna buy these. If I can't,
especially like with colors like that, where you're like a pink,
they're off color.
You can't just buy them and then hope.
Whatever happened to those shoes?
Honestly, I don't know.
I remember them bitches. Them shits were bright as fuck. That was on Black Friday. We went up with our brother, with David.
Yeah, I know. I still have. I just saw them the other day. I use them as my yard shoes. The ones I bought to mat the gray ones with the orange. I used to wear them when I worked at Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
I bought them to match the apron, so when I'm working at Home Depot.
That's how I was, dude. I was working TLE at Walmart doing oil changes, and I had my Jordan. I can't remember the name. They were not retros. They were a Jordan, but I don't have cheap shoes. So what I do is when I work whatever kind of job, construction, mechanics, whatever, I just take a pair of Jordans that I don't wear as much or older, and those become my work shoes. And these shoes were probably $180 when I bought them. You know, like,
yeah,
it's tough, but it is what it is. But excuse me. We have a couple of basketball things. Draymond Green. You want to speak on that?
I mean,
it's a little bit old. It's from the Super Bowl weekend.
But yeah, he was at the Super Bowl, and someone must have been like opportunistic or.
Well, LA, they all do.
Well, yeah,
this happens a lot.
This article that talks about it literally says that they've sent out like memos to Rams players saying, "Hey, look, this is what happens
in LA.
So beef up your security."
Mm-hmm. And plus, you're watching the Super Bowl. When I was watching it, they panned over to a fucking $1 million suite, and you've seen Steph and Aisha and Dre and his wife and a few other, big name players in the NBA. Yeah. LeBron was in that suite with Rich Paul and Mav or whatever. But so you see it live on TV. They're at the game. They're not at home. And if you're an opportunistic gangster or criminal, thank you, criminal, you take advantage of
and so
situation.
So it doesn't say how many, but the people who broke in through a window and ended up with over $1 million in jewelry, watches and they said and other items.
And this is Draymond Green's Los Angeles house.
Yeah,
mind you, he has many houses. I don't know many. He has
at least two.
Yeah,
we know. So he has the Bay Area one and the LA one that we know of. And I mean, I didn't delve in and see how many houses, because I could find out. I mean, it's not that hard to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like.
But I mean, when you're making $100 million a season, it's the NBA fully guaranteed contract.
So it's. I mean, what I was saying before we started recording was, like, well, you just leaving these watches out? You leaving the jewelry just out? Because to me, it's like if I had $1 million in jewelry, that shit gonna be in a good safe,
a big heavy safe that's bolted into the foundation of the house.
Facts. Like, even if it was, like, in my walk-in closet, it's going to be, like, tucked in the corner.
Bolted down. And I'm not going to get a safe you can carry out by yourself or two people. It's going to be a heavy enough safe. You know,
if I have $1 million worth of jewelry, because you know if they took $1 million,
would they leave?
Yeah, would they leave?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my thought on it.
And somebody will get caught. I mean, because it's going to be hard to off $1 million worth of jewelry no matter where and not get caught. But I know that there is some sleaze bag jewelers that won't ask questions also. So we'll see what happens with that. But that was just a quick thing.
Yeah, and then Draymond right now, or not Draymond, sorry. DeMar DeRozan.
Oh shit, that was going to be my transition because DeMar DeRozan, he scored excellent, like 4-something points in the All-Star game. I was going to transition.
He scored 10 in the All-Star.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but he's on like I think it's a 9-game streak now, or it might be 8.
I believe it's 9.
Where he is shooting 35 points and over 50% field goal. He just passed Wilt Chamberlain for the longest stretch in history.
Of what, 30 points a game? Or
35 points and over 50% shooting.
Gosh.
And
what was his percentage tonight?
So tonight,
for his field goal.
Thursday night as we're recording this.
Yeah. Yes.
He scored 37 points on 71.4% shooting against the Hawks.
That's fucking ridiculous. And like I said earlier,
he didn't 15 for 21.
He didn't shoot 8 or 10 shots and have a field goal percentage of 71%.
21.
He shot over 20 shots. And we were talking about that. If he would have shot just 20 shots and scored 15, his percentage would have been 75%. But still, like, he shot 21, dropped down to 71%, but that's not good shooting percentage for a game. That's like upper echelon great.
Well, and the crazy thing is, if you look back, and this is the list of his last 2, 4, 6, 8 games. So he's on 8 games right now. It's 37 and 71 tonight.
Yeah. 37 points and 71%.
Yeah, so 38 points, 59%. 40 points, 67%. 38 points, 50%. 35, 64. 36, 68. 38, 59, and 45, 60. That's what started this whole run.
And so his lowest percentage has been like 50.
50.
Which is fucking great.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
That's a great percentage for a game percentage.
Especially for not a big man.
And he's because a big man can dunk and lay it in all day.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a shooting guard or
small forward?
Small forward, okay.
And the crazy thing is, if you look, and I'm looking at his shot chart.
Wonder how Lonzo's doing it through all this. But sorry, go ahead.
Looking at his shot chart, he has only taken in the last 8 games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, tonight he went 2 for 3 from 3 points.
So 13 shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, for 3-point shots.
It only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these are makes.
Gotcha.
If
That's drove down his percentage.
If you see this man's shot chart, I mean, people have talked about how the mid-range game is like gone.
Yeah.
Hey, this man
is impeccable.
He said, "No, the fuck it ain't."
So yeah, hold my beer.
And we talked about it earlier. This guy tried to compare Jordan's 13th year to DeMar's, saying they're basically
not this guy across the table from Big over here.
It was
a reporter.
It was a verified account on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Got the blue check mark and everything.
Yeah.
Said they're basically the same.
Mind you guys, this person said they're basically the same. And
I would argue that DeMar's 13th year is going better
than Michael Jordan's
13th
1997
season. Because at this point in the year, DeMar is averaging 28 points. Jordan was averaging 26. DeMar's averaging 5 assists. Jordan was at 3. They both were averaging 5 rebounds. And this is where the big discrepancy for me comes in. The percentages.
Yeah,
DeMar was shooting 53 from 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan's shooting 48. Not a huge difference. 5%.
It doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is a big difference.
This one is where the huge percentage comes in. 34% for DeMar DeRozan from 3.
Okay.
Jordan was shooting 24%.
Yeah, that's 10%.
Yeah.
And
on free throws, DeMar's at 86%. Jordan was at 78%.
Yeah. So tell me how this is basically the same exact numbers.
Oh,
they should have said that DeMar DeRozan is edging out Michael Jordan
in the 13th year.
Yeah, then has edged out Michael Jordan's 13th season with his own. Or something. It should have been titled differently. This guy's a fucking...
but it's crazy to look at that because DeMar DeRozan was one of those guys who... He was in what is now called the G League.
Was he?
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan started in what back then was called the development.
No, he got drafted to the... So I watched the whole interview with him, and he's from L.A. I think he's from he's from L.A. I'm going to say L.A. It's a broad range.
Yeah.
Never left his city, as a lot of people down there, don't get to. He was in a ghetto, gang-infested area, and they actually looked out for him, wouldn't let him join the... Not saying he tried to. They made sure that he was cool. He was always off limits because he was going to go places, do things with his life. He was a baller. So he gets drafted to the Toronto Raptors on draft night. I think mid or late first round, if I'm not mistaken. Pick 9, okay. So earlier, first round. Gets drafted to the Raptors. Mind you, this at the time, this kid, he's a young adult. This kid has never left the city, never left the LA area. And now he's not only going out of the city, he's going out of the state, he's going out of the fucking country. And what he had spoke about, him and Draymond, it was on Draymond Green's podcast, or Chips, the Chip on My Shoulder, Chips podcast, whatever, with Draymond, where he interviewed him. And Draymond and him were talking about when he went to Toronto. This was when Toronto was like not as quote unquote Americanized. Like this was like French Toronto. He got off the airplane at the airport. Everything's in French. The currency, for people that don't know, doesn't matter if you're in the NBA, an American sports organization. If you play for Toronto and you live in Toronto, you have to get a passport for the first time in your life. You get paid in their currency, Canadian currency. So his money was different. He tried watching TV. The shows were in French for the most part. Like, this is before like the internet was as big as it is now.
I guess he didn't. I thought he spent some time in the G.
No, I was pretty sure he didn't. But this guy Americanized. LA Americanized. Leaves the city, goes to a different country, and it's French, and he is fucked.
Well, and even Chris Bosh said this. Even the TV that wasn't French, like you could get TV that wasn't French, but it was like different.
Yeah, it was
like you weren't getting the same
American
shows. You weren't getting the same like stuff that you like when you were in college and you're watching like Family Guy and all these like shows. Mm-hmm. You weren't getting that same stuff in Canada.
Yeah, you're getting what they give you. And also, this is before, the phones that we have now. Like, I have a fucking Galaxy Fold. It turns into a tablet. I can watch TV on my phone, subscriptions or not, anytime I want.
Oh, Redbox even was...
Yeah, back then...
If Redbox was... Or, I mean, not Redbox.
When was DeMar... Yeah.
If Netflix was a thing...
It was
back when they did the DVDs to your house.
Right. When was DeMar drafted? 2009. So you might have had a smaller phone with a small screen, but you didn't have all the technology you did now. So
that was like right when because I used to talk about this all the time. Like when I worked with kids, back like when I was in high school, we went through this phase where the smaller your phone was,
the fucking cooler,
the cooler it was,
and the more expensive it was.
Facts, bro.
People wanted the
remember the Juke.
Yes.
The juke little fucking thing, and it flipped. It was like literally like the width of a fucking pack of gum.
When people wanted, there was one that was rumored to come out. It was like literally like the size of a die, like dice. Like not maybe that thick, but it was tiny. And they were even talking about like having small ones that just sit in your ear kind of thing. And the smaller your phone, the fucking cooler you were.
And then
now I'm over here with the whole fucking iPad. Well, not. It's like a tablet that folds in half.
Well, that was my thing.
$2,000 for it.
It was like halfway through like my high school, they all of a sudden like touchscreens became cool.
Yep. BlackBerry I had.
And it was like all of a sudden that it like this switch happened from the smallest phone was the coolest phone to having the touchscreen, and then now it's like it's gone to like the bigger the phone. Like I literally walk around with the Samsung Galaxy Plus or whatever the fuck it's called. It is the Plus. It's I have the 21 Plus. The 22 just dropped actually. Yeah. And so it's like everybody wants the Plus or the Pro or the, you know what I mean?
The Note. I had the Note, which was fucking huge but thin.
Well, actually, they're going away. I think Samsung's getting away with the Note.
I heard that too. But now I have the Galaxy Z Fold, and this phone is fucking probably 1.5 pounds. It's heavy. I don't know how much it weighs.
It's probably one of the heavier phones that's out there
on the market. Like it goes back to like the brick phones in the 90s. But it's small. Then you open it, it's a whole fucking tablet, and it's heavy. And I love the phone. Don't get me wrong. It's my favorite phone of all time. But either way, back when he was drafted and he went to Toronto.
He probably had a flip phone.
Probably had a Razor. Yeah, actually, fuck, man.
You know what's funny is it's come full circle.
It has.
Because you can buy a Razor now.
It's crazy. So you got to think about how much of a culture shock that's got to be. Like that's got to be crazy. And this man put blood, sweat, and tears into the Raptors organization, and got them to, was it the conference game or the finals, and lost, and all this shit, and then they ended up trading him to San Antonio for Kawhi Leonard and won the fucking chip. He gets transferred traded from the Raptors to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard, and then the Raptors win the championship. That's fucked. That's gotta hurt so fucking bad. Just like we were talking about AJ Green. Played for the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, the NFL team for his whole career. Then he finally leaves to a team that's making some noise out west, and his team reaches the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah. After not winning a playoff game his whole career, but also for 30 years. Yeah. It sucks. But now DeMar he got traded from the Spurs. Was he with the Wizards before this? Now he's with the Chicago Bulls. With Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, and some other, people who I can't think of. Zach LaVine. And now he's fucking bossing out, and he's showing that he is that number 9 overall pick. That actually, the way he's playing now would put him up. If in retrospect, in hindsight, he should have been like a lottery pick.
Well, pick 9 is a lottery pick.
Is it? Okay, yeah, I'm talking about the top 3.
Because the lottery,
you're right,
is all the balls that get jumbled up. I'm trying to see who was drafted ahead of him.
The 8 people drafted ahead of him.
So Blake Griffin was taken 1.
That's a great pick.
Hasheem Thabeet.
Who?
Yeah, who? Motherfucker. He's played in 224 games.
Where? China?
No, in the NBA.
Oh, shit, my bad.
But think about this. Blake Griffin's played in almost 800 games.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, who was taken 3rd, has played in almost 1,000 games.
Shit. And who every team he goes to, he makes worse.
So it's Blake Griffin, Hasheem Thabeet, who was supposed to be a stud of a center.
I would expect if they dropped him 2nd.
He was, this man was...
projected.
He was expected to be doing some things. Then James Harden... Tyreek Evans to the Kings.
Mediocre.
Yeah,
at best.
Then Ricky Rubio.
Spanish bastard.
This one was a terrible fucking bust. Mind you, for those of you that don't understand, in 2009, the Minnesota Timberwolves had pick number 5 and number 6.
Oh, shit.
And they selected Ricky Rubio, who at the time
he's a veteran player. He's a journeyman.
Well, that's the crazy thing is when they took Ricky Rubio, he was still under contract because he had been playing
in Spain.
He had been playing professional basketball in Europe since he was 16.
Yeah.
He was still under contract, so when they drafted him, they didn't want to pay the buyout price that the team wanted. So they didn't even get Rubio for a whole nother year. He had to finish another year in Europe.
Finish off his contract.
And then at 6, they took Johnny Flynn.
Who?
Man played 3 years in the NBA and played 163 games.
Damn.
So at this point, I'm seeing Thabit, Evans, Rubio, and Flynn,
who are way worse than...
who were drafted above DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
And then at 7, you have Stephen Curry. So
best one of the whole draft. 100%. The best pick out of the whole draft.
And then at 8, you have Jordan Hill. So, and from 1 to 9, where we're at DeMar DeRozan, I can count 5 guys. Now, it's retrospect. Hindsight's 2020. There's 5 guys that, one, probably would not have been drafted in the top 10, period.
Yeah.
Whether DeMar DeRozan was there or not.
Yeah, if you had hindsight, yeah.
But this man, so let's say, if Blake Griffin, James Harden, Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan should have been 4th pick.
Absolutely. Steph should have been 1. Blake should have been... James
so if you think of,
should have been 2, even though I can't stand him.
So think about this. If you think about it, so if you redo this draft, Steph at 1, he goes to the Clippers.
He wanted to go to the Knicks, but yes.
So that would have been his draft. The Clippers. If he'd gone at 1,
yeah.
And if James would have gone at 2, he would have been a Grizzly. And then at 3, potentially could have seen DeRozan going to OKC.
Damn.
And then at 4, you could have seen Blake Griffin in a Kings jersey.
Damn. And the Kings would have traded him off for peanuts.
Or if you flip that around, you could have had Blake in OKC. And
didn't he play? No, he didn't go to OKC at all.
And DeMar DeRozan in the Kings jersey.
Damn. That's it's the universe butterfly effect.
That's what I'm saying. You look back at the drafts.
Where did the Knicks draft?
The Knicks, they took Jordan Hill.
Okay. Excuse me. They were supposed to take Steph, I guess, and he was ready to make his debut.
They had the pick after Steph.
Oh well.
The Warriors ended up.
Okay, so they were supposed to trade up for him. There was something where they let him down, but And
honestly, my opinion on Jordan Hill is he wasn't a bad big man.
No,
not top 10.
No, not at all. But he wasn't shit.
It's crazy to look back, do that hindsight's 2020 thing.
The Monday morning armchair quarterbacking kind of thing.
Oh yeah, to look now that I did that for 2009, I just want to look in other ones.
Right, but while you do that, we got to talk about. Well, I guess we don't have to, but back to the All-Star game, MJ and all that shit. Excuse me. So anybody that saw the Last Dance documentary on Netflix about Michael Jordan and the last. Whatever, it wasn't just the last season in 96 or 97. It was also debuted back to him getting drafted and and his relationships with people. And what was the famous quote on that happened so much? So I took that personal. I took that personal. Making shit up to take it personal to have crazy fucking games. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Fuck you. If you try to debate me that LeBron was better, I'll fight you. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Numbers don't lie. But what I'm saying is, in that, Scottie Pippen didn't like the way he was portrayed. Mind you, Scottie Pippen has been on record forever saying that Michael Jordan's a GOAT. We couldn't have done it without him. Michael Jordan, over here blowing this man and saying that he's the second coming of Jesus in a sense. And then after the documentary released, The Last Dance, Pippen came out, started talking shit. oh, it wasn't all Michael Jordan. It was me. You know, I played a bigger role than I was, given credit for, which I believe Pippen did play a bigger role than he is given credit for. But he came out and completely contradicted everything he's ever said about MJ and made it more about himself and acted like he took everything personal and wrote a book about it, just trashing and all this shit. So this All-Star break, during the All-Star game at halftime, this is like the longest halftime I've ever seen of any fucking sports thing. It had to be at least an hour. I'm sure you could probably look it up and tell me how long it was. But they honored so many different people, the top 75, or the NBA 75, the ones who were living. But they honored everybody, I'm sorry. But the ones who were living were there or were on video. MJ was there, came out, waved to the people. The crowd went nuts, as they should and would. Scottie Pippen, when they called his name, he was in a remote location with the white screen behind him with his 75 blazer on, waving and shit. And I'm like, well, that's funny. I bet you I can guess why Pippen's not there, because the beef with MJ. Well, earlier tonight, I seen reports that Scottie Pippen did not attend the All-Star game or the NBA 75th, 75 whatever thing, because he did not want the smoke with MJ. Which is funny, like, he's scared of MJ. But, as me and Big were talking about earlier, and I was showing him videos, MJ looked like he was in the best of moods, did he not?
He definitely looked like he was...
He might have been inebriated on a substance that makes you very happy. I don't know. It looked like he might have taken some ecstasy, to be exact. Like, he
did seem to be out of character, like when it, like, over the top happy
for what the public knows of him.
Like, yeah, from what we've seen publicly, like at events and stuff.
Yeah, dare I say, giddy.
Yeah, like he honestly seemed like a kid who had never been to an All-Star, like a rookie that had never been to an All-Star game before.
There was a part where they were, during the announcements, Steph was standing in the tunnel next to Magic Johnson, and all you can see is a hand petting Steph's head from the back, and it kind of pans over, and it's Michael Jordan. Like, like people on ecstasy want to feel things because the sensation. He's over here petting this man, rubbing his head. There's another part where he sees Dennis Rodman. It looks like he's trying to grab his nipples and leaning down, hugging him. He gives Mary J. Blige a hug. His hand wanders a little bit. He requests to play Magic Johnson 101. Like, he was just, like you said. I couldn't have said that better. He looked like a rookie who had just made their first All-Star, or a player who had made their first All-Star game.
Yeah, and they were just so
happy
excited to be there and
which is fucking great. And seeing that side of MJ is fucking dope, because all you hear is stories from celebrities and people saying that he's a dick, he's an asshole, he's so competitive that it gets to the point that it's almost like fights.
He's like that dude at the fucking rec or the park, or
the one at the company dinner / bar outing where they want to leg wrestle with other people. No, I'm kidding. That was all in fun though.
But like that dude who you go to the park and you lay up on him or shoot in his eye and he's ready to fight you, and you're just like, whoa, bro.
Right. Super competitive.
That's literally how they make MJ out to be. It doesn't matter if it's a pickup game or a championship game
or an appearance.
It's played the same.
An appearance. He had a Michael Jordan Foundation event, red carpet thing. I watched interviews with a couple rappers, and Chameleonaire was there. I think it was Chameleonaire.
I see me rolling.
and the rapper Chameleonaire. And when he was walking in, the rapper It's Going Down, Young Jock, was walking out looking mad. And Chameleonaire's like, yo, where you going? Blah, blah. And he said, nah, fuck this motherfucker. He just kicked me out of his party. Talking about Michael Jordan. He said, why? He said, because I came in wearing Reeboks. And he said, N-word, you ain't wearing that shit here. It's either Jay's or get the fuck out. In my own words, not theirs. You know what I'm saying? Kicked his ass out because he was wearing a different company. And then Chameleonaire said he was in there and asked him for a picture. And MJ hit him with the N-word. Basically, get off my jock kind of thing. So, I don't know if that's drunk MJ or whatnot or, whatever. But this MJ at the All-Star game was kind of a delight to see. He looked like he was blazing some good with Snoop. You know,
yeah, he might have been.
He might have, or popping some pills and sweating with fucking.
Hey, the funniest thing I saw.
Sweating.
Speaking of Snoop, just real fast, there was a meme that's like, "Oh, Snoop was caught smoking weed right before they went on to perform."
Fuck.
And it was like, "Do you not know who Snoop Dogg is?" Question mark.
Also, do you not know where it was located? It's in L.A. Weed is legal.
But
it doesn't give
so hard. I was like, Snoop doesn't give a.
He'd be in court, dude. He'd be in court facing a charge and light up a fucking blunt, and the judge would be like, "I can smoke with Snoop. Can I hit that?" Like,
facts, bro.
if you don't smoke, if you never smoked, if you don't want to, and Snoop offers to smoke, you smoke just for the experience. But either way, the point I'm making is MJ was being. He looked like a little kid. It was giddy, and it was cool to see. That's the fucking GOAT, and it was nice to see. But Pippen didn't want the smoke. MJ looked like he had smoked all of it.
But Nelson style.
Right. But do you want to share some shit on the NFL XFL?
Yeah, so I mean, big.
Break it down. The XFL was owned. It was started in 2002.
Yeah, it was initially started by
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon, who owns the
WWE.
Well, is it? Yeah, so it
WWE.
was WWF.
No, it's WWE. Federation. Now it's entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's entertainment. So WWE. So fake wrestling essentially,
and that's the thing. He made it too much about fake wrestling.
He made it too much, and that's one thing that I saw is
too theatrical.
Yeah, and one of the big things is when he tried to bring it back, everybody said everything I saw said it was either it was too much wrestling, like theatrics, for the normal.
You shut that up.
Football fan, and it wasn't enough football, or it was too much football for the normal wrestling fan. So it was like it couldn't pick a side, I guess, and I could see that, but I guess now The Rock and his ex-wife,
Danny Garcia, who was his business partner,
have officially taken over.
Yeah, they bought it.
And they have...
because the XFL started back up right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, and
they got slammed. They didn't know. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew the pandemic was coming. And so The Rock and his ex-wife...
Danny Garcia.
Have agreed to a deal with the NFL where the XFL will kind of be their tester league, feeder league, whatever you want to... So they're going to test...
Guinea pig.
They're going to test new rules out over there, see how they work. They're going to train referees over there.
New mental and strength conditioning tests.
Yeah, they're literally what they're really just using the XFL as Bliss said, the guinea pigs.
Yeah, but
it's literally like...
I guarantee The Rock and his ex Danny are going to have contracts written up to where they're getting fucking paid.
Oh,
The Rock is not. Well, we all know he's not dumb. He's fucking business savvy.
Oh, that man is.
He's $7. His company is $7 Productions or whatnot.
Well, yeah, because that's all he had in his pocket or whatever.
When he got cut from the CFL, yeah.
Yeah, and he had $7, and he.
Now he's probably worth $700 million.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
I'll look that up.
Well, I was like,
I'll look it up.
Well, the thing about it is he knows football. He knows what it takes. It says $320 million is what.
See, and I get $350. So when you look it up, that's just liquid. That's what they know about.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing is. I mean, we've talked about this where. Terrell Owens is they say my net worth is this.
Ocho, it was Ocho.
Oh, it was Ocho. That's
Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah, he says that my net worth is this, and then he shows dude the bank account. It's more than what his net worth says it was.
Yeah, way more. Way more.
So net worth
that was a Nelk Boys podcast, but yeah.
The net worth is what they know you can have, what you have.
They probably total up your salary that's public. They don't know about your investments and what is gained.
Well, that's what they probably a lot of what they focus on is like what you own, like the stuff that they can actually physically because they can't access
your bank account.
They can't access how much money I have in my bank account.
No, it's what.
But you have. Public record is what car I can drive, what house I own. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things are public knowledge.
Absolutely.
But my bank account, you don't know what the fuck's sitting in there.
Right. But so look, the segue. So shout out to the NFL, XFL, Dwayne, Danny.
Johnson. That's a huge thing for.
That's a dope. That's great. That's gonna revolutionize the game for us.
I think it not only helps players who
Helps
maybe need a little bit of development. Maybe the XFL can turn into that like G League kind of area.
Fucking dope. I'd buy jerseys and watch.
But it also helps the NFL be able to test things, and not on their players.
Right.
Like instead of being like, "Hey, let's test that stupid fucking overtime rule."
Yeah.
Let
the XFL run it for a season, and we'll go.
And let's all laugh at it for.
Instead of only doing it, testing a new rule in the preseason.
Yeah, because that's normally when they do it. They test it in the preseason.
And that's not long enough. 4 games, now it's 3. It's not long enough.
Yeah.
But real fast, because the segue is great. So you're talking about net worth and what they can see and this, that, and the third, and talking about Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about net worth and money and salary and what people can see. Oh, we can see a whole lot on OBJ's contract with the Rams.
Yeah, so this is what I've read, and I've read it from multiple things. He signed...
Odell Beckham Jr. when he signed with the Los Angeles Rams.
On November 12th, he signed for $750,000, and he announced that it would be taken in Bitcoin. On this day that he said this...
Might have been a good idea. It was a gamble.
It was, because, I mean, if Bitcoin goes up, say you get 700... It's because if we read farther into this, he only has to pay the percentage on what he was paid.
Yeah.
When it comes to income tax.
Yeah. He had to pay it on $750K.
Yeah.
And
so if it would have gone up...
What's his percentage, his tax percentage?
I'll get to that. But what I'm saying is, at $750K, if, let's say, Bitcoin skyrockets
to $3 million,
he's only paying on the $750K because that was his income. On the back end, he'll have to pay some investment tax, obviously, if he tries to cash it out.
Yeah.
But at the time, he only has to pay on that $750K.
So let's say, because at the time of signing, how much was each Bitcoin worth?
$64,293.
So say $64K. Now, a year later, or what are we? 6 months? No. He signed
4 months.
4 months later, say that shit went up to 100,000 a coin. I don't know what the numbers would be. How much is 750,000? Let's say it went up to 5 million, or no. Let's say because of 750K.
Yeah.
Let's say it went up to 3 million. He, instead of paying, how much was percentage his taxes?
50.3.
50.3. So instead of paying 50.3 off 750,000, which would be 325,000, well, no, he'd still pay only 325,000. Whether Bitcoin
375.
Okay, so whether it was it was 750,000 worth of Bitcoin, or now 3 million worth,
you would only have to pay that,
and that would have been a fucking genius thing to do. But what happened?
But as of the article I'm looking at right now in Yahoo, this was written in mid-January. At the time that this article was written, Bitcoin had dropped $30,000 essentially.
Went from 64,000 to
it went from 64 to 35. So 29. 29,000. Which means that his deal went from 750,000 to 412,000.
Ouch.
But the problem is Odell, since the 750K was his income,
that was what they paid him.
He was taxed on that 750K, and between his federal and his California state tax, they're figuring it's around 50.3%
of 750.
Of 750K. So if you do 412 minus 375, he made approximately $40,000.
And blew his knee out. For a Super Bowl ring, though.
I mean, he got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. And some people, that's priceless, and they would give their whole body. But most people are at the end of their career and know they don't have a chance to get one and would say, I'll give my legs to get this. He's still kind of in his prime. And, yeah, that's tough. He made $40,000, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
It
was a gamble. Like, and that, well, I mean, the stock...
It paid off.
That's what the stock market is, really. The Bitcoin market, all that stuff. It really is just a huge gamble.
Absolutely.
And he tried. I mean, he got his championship.
He did.
I mean, he got his ring. Like, that's what every NFL player wants.
That's the pinnacle. That's the mountaintop.
I mean, we all thought about it as kids.
Yeah. I played football, organized football for years.
That's,
or basketball, you think of it, you know.
Anything. Any sport you play, you're always like the championship. It doesn't matter. Like,
up the professional level, yeah.
I mean, how many times did you sit as a kid and count down 5, 4, 3, 2?
Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. And bang, win the NBA championship. Just like in the backyard or down at the park or whatever.
R.I.P. Mamba. But yeah, no, it's true. But moving on to that, we talked about Matthew Stafford last week and the photographer who plummeted off the stage and his reaction with the water bottle. He hit the oops and darted out. And if you don't know what we're talking about, last episode we talked about it at the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl parade when they came to the final destination, the end of it. They have a stage set up, and Matthew Stafford and his wife were standing there, and a photographer wanted to take a picture of them together, and she had backed up to the front of the stage, went to take it, and she just she fell. She fell, mind you, the stage was probably 6 feet off the ground. Well, when that happened, Matthew Stafford had a bottle of water, and he hit the, oh shit, took a drink, his eyes got big, and he turned around and walked away. His wife kind of did the oh shit face and walked to help, and that's where it ended that we saw for the public. So after that, Matthew Stafford and his wife excuse me, the photographer, I guess the next day she went to the hospital and found out that she had broken her back, right? Like fractured her back. Yeah.
Honestly, some doctors say fractures are worse than breaks.
That's what I've heard too. And then
breaks are usually clean and fractures are
and
usually
they can
not.
Heal faster, and then fractures are like spider webs. Yeah. So Matthew Stafford and his wife reached out and they're paying for her all her medical bills for that. But the point I'm making is we had discussed last week about his reaction looked really bad if you're looking at it from a public point of view, but we also played, both sides of it and said, you can't fault somebody on the reaction and this, that, and third. But anyways, last episode we really went in depth in that. So if you want to hear or whatever, you can go back to last episode. But there's some new news on that. And I want to start with Matthew Stafford's response to that. So in his first public interview since that day, Stafford had acknowledged the fact that his reaction probably wasn't what it should have been, while also noting that he reached out to the injured photographer who was identified as Kelly Smiley. Quote unquote, yeah, I mean, that obviously happened really quickly and suddenly and unexpectedly, and I wish I had a better reaction in the moment. I didn't. I apologize to her for that, but glad that all in all, she's doing all right. So, end quote, obviously, quote unquote. But, which is great, and they are offering to pay for her surgery and this, that, and the third. But the photographer was Kelly Smiley. And I had no idea about this until Big Mike brought it to my attention when we were discussing this topic. Listen to this shit. Shit got fucking wild.
Yeah, so supposedly, and I mean, fake Twitter accounts pop up, whatever. These are from a long time ago, and this account has been since deleted. So
it's probably true.
So I am sitting in the camp that these are hers.
Yeah.
It's her picture. It's like literally her with a camera. They're from years ago, and there's
It's her name.
It's a lot of the N-word thrown around.
The internet agents will always find your dirt.
Yeah, like nobody knew her name before she fell.
Any dirt done in the dark will always come to light, kind of thing, you know?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. No, literally before she fell, nobody knew her name.
Shoot, nobody can fuck better. Look at Kevin Hart with his quote unquote homophobic tweets. Yeah. Go ahead.
And so it's like this chick. We could have, like, as sports fans, we could have seen her pictures thousands of times.
Maybe seen her in the background pictures.
But
it's a blip on the radar.
But she's a photographer, and we don't really look. Like, I don't look into who takes what pictures.
Penis up to an elephant, dude. Seriously.
And so she falls. This thing becomes big, and people go down the rabbit hole of her Twitter. Like, some of these things that I've seen are from like 2012, 2013.
I'm looking November 17th of 2013.
Which, again, it doesn't make them right. I'm just saying, like, how far these people dug back.
Well, and this was a few years where she was fucking consistently being this.
And I'm not going to say that she is racist because she used the word. Because there's, like, I've seen people who don't hate colored people that use the word, but she is very ignorant.
Yeah.
For the amount of times that she used this word on the internet.
I've seen with the
I feel like there's
I've seen NIGGA and I've seen the NIGGE, a hard capital ER.
And so so she has, and not only does she have some of the N-word with the A and the hard R, she also does refer to
Asian
there's some Asian hate, and there also is some gay bashing.
Yeah. Like, she's just all around. If this is her, I don't even know if I'd say ignorant. I'd say she's a real piece of shit.
And it's one of those things where it's like,
because if you feel this way and you've put... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, she just doesn't give a fuck.
Or didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, people do, like, back then, like, when you're young, you don't think this shit lasts.
But this was...
It doesn't make it right. What I'm saying, it doesn't make it, like, she shouldn't have said that shit. Like, honestly, like, I would never, I don't care, like, what fucking...
Platform,
I'm not posting the N-word.
Well, you don't we don't say it like that in person when we know it's just you and I.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't post it. This, like, I can't, like, if it slipped one time, like, if you look through all of her social media and she said it one time, I'd be like, all right, you can't really drag her that hard. Like, but it's not one time. Like, it's, like, consistent, not just, like, in a couple days. Like, she's just...
A couple years.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't. I can't fathom what made someone be like, "Yep, it's okay for me to say this,"
and then be a fucking photographer for the NFL, where the majority of the players are minorities, whatever race it may be.
You would think, and this is just me. Say we start to pop off.
Yeah.
You're telling me that we both don't go, hey, look, maybe we should go look back at our social media type of thing. So she starts taking all these pictures in the NFL where she's starting to get some clout for her photography.
Sure, she's getting paid, all right. She's an NFL employee.
You're telling me she doesn't go,
maybe we should go deactivate. Yeah.
Maybe either one, delete and just make a whole new account.
Yeah.
Or two... I mean, honestly, if she had to go scour, bro, she's spending, like, days.
Yeah.
The way this looks, it's going to take her a while to delete all this.
Mm-hmm.
So she just delete the whole account.
Yeah. Just
start over.
Try. Yeah. Well, the one I'm looking at right now is from November 17th of 2013, and she added VNasty _ which, if I'm not mistaken, VNasty is a white girl rapper who kind of got a buzz, got popping in Oakland in around 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, she was a white girl, and she used the N-word a lot in her music with the GGA. I mean, V Nasty is a rapper from Oakland or the Bay Area who used the N-word, and that was kind of controversial back then, and they gave her a pass. I don't know if this is the same V Nasty. This is
what's the thing? It's V Nasty.
Oh, you know what? It's not V Nasty. It's V Nasty at VANASTY _. It looked like V Nasty, and if it's V Nasty, this is a white girl who uses the N-word. But this Kelly Smiley, 23 on Twitter, said at Vanasty, I guess, _ reply to my fucking text, N-word, with an A at the end, GGA, but still, like, this bitch is as white as milk. She shouldn't be saying that word with, like, people say it with their friends, whatever, but saying it on social media, like, it's gonna come back to bite you. Another one, August 13th. I don't know, it's 2006? Or is it August 6th, 2013? I don't know. 10:59 p.m. You are a homophobic slur. FAG. Not going to say it. You're a... Yeah. This one right here. 3:32 p.m. No, October 7th, 2013. LOL at these fucking Asian people screaming their Chinese language in the library. 1, we're in America. 2, shut the fuck up. This is a library. What the fuck? Mind you, I'm quoting. I'm reading verbatim. It's not my words, it's hers. There's another one. There's 3 right here, okay? January 10th, 2014. Replying to at TEE _ Bright. T Bright, always little NIGG, and it's blocked off. It might be an ER or an A. I don't know. What's up? Right below it. 4/6. What's that? April 6th, 2014. Almost just got shot in the ghetto because at CDavy4 wanted to fuck with N-words. It's blocked off. I don't know if it's an ER or an A.
Either way.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
6/10, June 10th, 2013. At the Funny Vines. N-word be grabbing anybody. I'm crying.
So, if, and this, I'm going to say
play devil's advocate.
If, let's say that none of these other tweets happened and that Vine tweet was the only one, I'd give her a pass.
On the Vine tweet. Because what?
Because sometimes when you share things for those of you young bucks that don't understand, Vine was like TikTok before TikTok. When you share those videos, it shares them with whatever the title of the person who made the video.
And it could have been a black dude.
So she could have literally said share to Twitter and not realize what it was saying. But that's not the only issue.
Asian.
It was like it wasn't. That's not the only thing. Like if you scroll through my Twitter and that's the only N-word you see, then I will argue to the death. But the problem is that's not the only N-word you see. You see the N-word a bunch of times. You see Asian hate. You see homophobic slurs.
Hold the phone. Mexican hate now. I'm looking deeper.
I didn't see that one. I saw the N-word. The Asian.
Well, I'm looking. There's more. January 26, 2014. Last night I dropped my phone in the toilet and now it doesn't work. LOL. But it does smell like Mexican food because of the rice. Okay. Then.
Okay, real fast. I'm gonna say this: Mexican people don't eat white rice.
No.
So that joke.
It'd have to be Spanish to mix the rice, you know.
That joke just one, it's tasteless, and 2,
well, it's racist. Yeah.
You didn't use the right race,
right?
Like, come on, like if you're gonna be racist,
then that would
at
be
least
more
make a
geared
stereo.
towards.
It's a,
Yeah.
Like,
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
here's another one.
Come on.
February. So that was January 26, 2014. Then the next month, February 21st, 2014, at L_Riley34. Ha 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 ha. Fuck you, fat Mexican. And then August 15th, 2013, at Michaela, she's white, I think, or maybe half Mexican. What the fuck?
See,
like,
that last one wasn't.
That wasn't as bad. I'm just like, right here. This is I think Facebook or Twitter from her. It's just hard to read because it's all blurred. Just made this thing with a bunch of Asian women and it for my mother. Oh, mother. I hope you. Like, I don't know. She was spelling it like trying to spell it fucked up. Then that was what kicked off the Chinese language and the library thing. I've never experienced such nude customer service. Thanks, Asian. Fuck that. I can't really read these. These are kind of blurred. Anyways.
Well, yeah.
No, this bitch is racist. Fuck that. This bitch is fucking.
It went from a whole point
racist.
It went from being like ignorant, just using the word, to like there's got to be some level of racism.
Yeah, Kelly Smiley, the photographer who fractured spine in front of Matthew Stafford, deletes Twitter after racist tweets come to life. Like,
I also saw something, and I couldn't find more on it, that she was potentially facing jail time for something. And I don't want to comment on it because I literally looked and couldn't find much more on it. So.
Well, we forgot about this one. One of the tweets on October 19th, 2013, at Karina_Justine. Remember when we yelled fucking bitch ass N-word at Munger out my car? At Tay Smith _. Then another one at The Swag Life. N-word, you just want to fuck. This bitch. And yes, I say bitch. Bitch. You deserve that fall, if not more. Like, that's just fucking wild. Like, it went from you breaking that to me earlier. I didn't even hear about this. To me looking into it, and then now it's like an outpouring of fucking hate and racism. Against Mexicans, against Asians, against black people. Like, holy shit. And some of it, she wasn't being racist with the GA, but still, like, why would you put that in a public domain?
Well, that's my thing.
She put that out there.
She uses the GGA, she uses the ERs. Like, at this point, it's like, what is going on? Like, like I said, there's got to be some level of racism somewhere.
There, right here. At Kel Smiles. Or, I am white. And she said, oh, that was at her. Of course you dance like a fucking white, or whatever. Fuck yourself. Like, she talked shit to people. Because the girl was like, I am white. And she's like, of course you are. Fuck yourself. So, I don't.
It doesn't make sense.
None of it makes sense. And whether it makes sense or not, like, if it made sense, she's a fucking racist. Ignorant. She's ignorant as fuck.
Well, like I said, there's got to be some level with, like, the amount that she talks about as many races. There's got to be some level of racism.
Right? She thinks she's funny. She's definitely shouldn't be a comedian. Anyways, that's how I feel. What are we at right now?
Well, we can touch real fast before we wrap it up. There is a huge outpouring from NFL players to ban artificial turf.
And I understand why.
And the crazy thing is, like, when you go back to, like, if you think back to playing football, everybody wanted to play on turf.
Because it felt like it was rich kind of thing. Like, it felt professional.
It felt professional and it looked good, and you were like, I'm not stepping in mud holes, I'm not fucking, you know what I mean, those type of things.
When we played Little League football, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, man, it's like the weather could be shitty and you're not having to deal with shitty turf.
But what I hated was the turf burn. Getting tackled on turf is the fucking worst.
Or as a lineman, when it was, especially around this area, you put your hand in the fucking turf when it's 85 outside, that turf's almost 100.
So for those of you that don't know, we live in Northern California, and in the summertime we have an average of 108 degrees. We've had 118 degrees that I can remember in this town. Yeah. So yeah, being and you go through Hell Week during the fucking hottest of summer.
Well, then you got to think is what we were always told, and this was the thing we were always told. Whatever the temperature is outside, because on the turf, for those that don't know, it's turf, and underneath, like the soft, put in quotes, the pellets and the softness is just
torn up tire,
car tire that's literally been like shredded into pellets.
Yeah, and you get that shit in your socks and your cleats,
and so it's literally black tire, and if you understand how science works, that black absorbs
and
all the
rubber.
heat.
Yeah.
And so I was always told that whatever the temperature is outside, on that field, it's 10 to 15 degrees hotter. So it just putting your, like as a lineman, you putting your hand in, like 90 degrees outside, that turf is 100 degrees. Like putting your hand, like without gloves, it was almost unbearable.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah. And then having a bear crawl on it during practice or getting tackled.
I still joke all the time because people, like kids nowadays, are like, man, we had to bear crawl 100 yards. And I'm like, bro, I had to snake a field, bro.
Fuck. Or crab crawl.
Dude, snaking it when you had to go across, for those of you who don't understand a snake, you go from goal line up to the 5-yard line and then you go across the field.
So that's sideways.
That's up 5 yards and across 52 1/3 or whatever the width of it is. It's like 52 1/3 or whatever. Yeah. And then you go up 5 more yards to the next, and then you go.
How many times were you late?
No, that was just shit. Like this was just conditioning shit.
Fuck all that. That's why I didn't play. I didn't go to high school here. Fuck that.
And then you would literally go.
I would have beat the shit out of my coach.
You go back across that bitch.
Yeah.
And then you go up 5 more, back across that bitch.
It's like kind of like a suicide in basketball, but it's not as bad. I mean,
it's worse.
Suicides aren't as bad.
Yeah,
it's a million times worse.
But we had to do. Snakes were things we had to do for conditioning.
Fuck that! I had to run a steep, like probably I don't know the slope percentage. It was fucking wild up a sand hill.
Yeah,
shit for like 200 yards. Yeah, so
and so it's like I laugh when kids complain. We had to bear crawl 100 yards. I'm like, bro, stop.
Yeah,
but
now they can't do all that.
Well, and the crazy thing is, back then they used to say there was a law that said you couldn't practice if it was over a certain degrees.
100 degrees. But
the problem is, again, it could be 90 degrees, but the turf is over 100.
Yeah.
But you still had to practice because the outside temperature was under the allowed temperature.
Yeah.
So with a lot of this, honestly, this NFL push, I've seen a lot more of it after the OBJ injury.
That's when it really.
It was like obviously there's probably been.
We'll talk about the OBJ shit. He just came off a ACL.
Yeah.
See, in Cleveland, he blew out his right ACL in his knee. You know, was off for the season. Got surgery, rehabbed it, came back. Then
I think
he got signed with the Rams.
Knee.
No, it was the same one, same exact. You can look it up.
Well, the picture that he showed with his kid is his left one.
So it was his left knee that he injured the first time. It was the same knee he fucked up.
Well, and so, like, obviously there's probably been players fighting for this for a while.
There has been. I see it.
But it didn't come to light to me until the OBJ injury, when literally OBJ got hurt. And I swear the next day, it was like,
Well, as soon as he got hurt, the players that weren't in playing Super Bowl started tweeting that.
That's what I'm saying. I saw literally the next day after the Super Bowl, I saw all these tweets and all these things talking about players
and with the link.
Yeah.
For what? It's a grass company.
Yeah, they were talking. They don't want artificial turf. Blah 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 blah. And so looking into it, the data actually supports artificial turf is harder on your body than grass. So, based on NFL injury data between the years of 2012-2018, not only was the contact injury rate lower, was it not only lower for the lower extremities, higher during practices and games on artificial turf, they experienced much higher rates of non-contact. So you could think contact injuries, you land on turf, you land on grass.
No contact's getting hit.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So they're saying that even the contact injuries are higher.
Yeah.
But you're like, okay, whatever, like contact injuries.
Yeah, of course.
If you hit the ground hard, you're going to get hurt, whatever.
Well, but I don't think they count you hitting the ground as contact. I think what the contact is if the defensive player hits you or you come in contact with another player.
Well, what I'm saying is it's still saying on turf, contact injuries are a little bit higher than on grass.
Yeah. So like when
that's what I'm saying.
Defender hits you on turf compared to grass.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I don't know if they count you hitting the turf.
Oh.
Like if someone takes you down to the turf, is that a contact injury?
Yeah, because you're getting taken down.
That's what I'm saying.
But the non-contact, I'm guessing, would be.
So non-contact injuries are when you see guys make a cut and then all of a sudden they just don't come out of the cut.
They stick their foot in the grass. Yeah.
And so this is the big discrepancy. The contact injuries, the numbers are close, supposedly. They didn't give the numbers on here. It says that they're close. But specifically players have a 28% higher rate of non-contact lower extremities, so legs, knees, ankles, feet, when on turf. So almost a 30%, that's 1/3 almost. 1/3 of a chance to get hurt compared to grass. Now, 32% of those injuries are knee injuries. And a staggering 69% higher chance to hurt your ankle or your foot playing on turf as compared to grass.
Yeah. So this report says NFL started a petition to ban artificial turf in football after Odell Beckham's Super Bowl injury. So it was after.
Well, and that's the thing is there was probably rumblings of guys like, man, we need to get away from turf. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, like Nick Chubb, his Twitter, 90% of NFL players prefer real grass, including me. In 2020, I sprained my MCL on artificial turf. Hashtag flip the turf to real grass. At Pennington Lawn and sign the petition, change blah, blah, blah. So Pennington Lawn is a grass company that they're trying to get done, you know. Erica Armstead for the 49ers at NFL, fix this trash MetLife turf. 2020 is so whack. Like, that's just a couple of them. Like, yeah, it's been crazy though. And they should. The turf is fucking really. It's ruining people's careers. You know, OBJ is Cleveland is turf. Yeah, for the Browns where he tore it the first time.
Probably.
So he tore his left ACL and then rehabbed from it. Signed to the Rams.
So let's see right here. Which teams have artificial turf versus real?
I know MetLife does because they played back-to-back weeks. Players fucked their legs and ankles up playing on MetLife for the Giants-Jets games.
16 of the teams already have real grass.
That's 50%. I know the Raiders.
9 of them use Bermuda grass. 4 of them use Kentucky bluegrass. 2 use Grass Master. Yeah,
that might be the company that puts the grass in. But.
Well, Bermuda and Kentucky grass; those are different kinds of like.
The blue, I know what you're talking about.
So how many of them have artificial turf? 14 of them. That doesn't add up, does it?
No.
Oh, it's because technically the Giants and the Jets share a stadium.
Yep.
And then the Rams and the Chargers also.
That's right. And they're both those are artificial.
Yeah, and so technically there's only 14 stadiums that have
16 teams play on home games on it. But
yeah. So the ones that have turf and the ones that have real grass. So here's a full breakdown. The Cardinals, which their stadium, if you've ever looked into how they do their grass, is
the Raiders do theirs the same now.
Is wild because the Cardinals literally roll the whole field out into the sun.
Well, no, the field is out in the sun. They only roll it in for games.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They roll it in and out to get sun.
And that's what the Raiders, in Las Vegas Raiders, row all their shit outside. It's on a slab on motors or hydraulic motors with wheels. And it takes like 2 hours for when they hit start.
Yeah.
They open a gate like a cargo door opens, but it's like the span of the end of the end zone, and it's only about 4 feet high. The rolling door opens, and this shit takes a couple hours to come in, and it's probably about 3 feet off the ground, and it rolls in as the field. But the Las Vegas Raiders, they also have a turf field, but that's only for UNLV. The Las Vegas college football team plays there too, and they have high school championship games. So they have a turf field that they roll in or roll whatever, or not. They can take in and out that goes above the turf.
Yes,
or above the grass.
So the Falcons have turf. The Ravens have grass.
Mm-hmm.
Bills have turf. Panthers have turf. Bears have grass. Bengals have turf.
The Browns, yeah.
The Browns have grass.
Oh wow!
Kentucky bluegrass is what they use.
That's the blue. Okay.
Cowboys use turf.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos also use grass. The Kentucky bluegrass. Lions use turf. Packers use grass. Texans turf. Colts turf. Jacksonville grass. KC grass. Raiders use Bermuda grass. Chargers and Rams, since they share the same stadium.
Turf.
It's turf. Miami is grass. Vikings is turf. Patriots turf. Saints turf. Giants and Jets turf. Eagles grass. Steelers grass. The Niners use a mixture of two different grasses. I don't know what that means, but they use grass. Seahawks turf. Buccaneers grass. Titans grass. And Washington football team grass.
It's not football team anymore.
Oh, it's this article was...
I know.
It's the Commanders now.
Commanders. Jeez.
When was this written? Oh, this was written at the end of 2021. That's why.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you think about it. So, half and half. So, I mean, obviously half the teams realize that it's beneficial to use grass.
Yeah. The other ones are cost efficient because turf.
But when you think about it, like, so when you read a lot of those, you read like indoor stadiums, like a lot of like Dallas is an indoor
domes. Yeah,
like
they usually
they can open up.
They usually have turf though, unless the domes, indoor stadiums, turf, or they have to have turf. Unless you're the Cardinals or the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying.
And you roll your shit in and out. But.
So a lot of these, like if you think about it, the Saints,
Superdome.
Their Superdome is older.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I don't know if they didn't have the technology, but you know what I mean. Like so, rolling the shit in and out wasn't thought of as much back then.
Yeah.
So it's if if the NFL does take the side of the players and says, hey, look,
that's going to be tough.
We need to do grass. It's not going to be an overnight, hey, everybody has to switch to grass.
No. Yeah.
Because logistically, some of these stadiums
can't. They're going to have grow lights that come down.
That's what I'm saying.
I know a dude that grows stupid amount of weed, and he does it with grow lights indoor. The NFL can do it.
Yeah, that's what. But even if you say, "Hey, look, you have to start doing this," it's not going to be.
No, it's not. Yeah, not going to be in an off season.
It's going to take years if the NFL, and I don't see them taking the players' side quickly.
Yeah, fuck the players. It's cheaper to have turf. The maintenance is cheaper. You don't have to repaint every fucking game. But the only thing is,
dude, I saw this. Speaking of paint, the crazy thing. So SoFi uses turf.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how they unpaint turf?
I don't know how they unpaint. I know they paint it, but
oh, dude, there was a video. It was how they changed because during the Super Bowl the logos changed.
Had to have logos of each team.
Yeah.
Well, they have to change their logos.
Yeah, and
they share a team.
So literally, there's a machine that just sits there and washes the turf. I literally watched it. Yeah, dude, it was weird. It was like wild. But there's you have to realize it's not gonna change overnight. There's no way.
No, you can't.
You think about how is New Orleans with the outdated stadium they have going to supply grass?
And they're getting, or else they'd have to cut one end of the stadium open, and then whatever is outside that they'd have to barricade off and cut into the ground.
Well, that's the thing is you have to think you're gonna have if it's even possible,
or just cut the roof off.
If it's even possible to do that, because you get from an architect standpoint.
No, I know.
I know, but I'm saying that's what's gonna have to go in is maybe some stadiums they can add a door.
You'd have to have load bearing and shit.
And so it's going to turn into
a whole mess. You're going to have to rebuild.
And that's why I understand where the players are coming from, safety-wise, because the NFL preaches safety.
Yeah, player
safety, blah, 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 blah.
Don't give a fuck about them.
But
they fuck about the bottom line and the money and the endorsements.
But that's the thing is it's going to be hard for the NFL to force that.
Yeah. Well, and
maybe, and the thing is, you know how they have those grandfather rules where if your state, if Tom Brady used to get away with wearing his helmet because he was grandfathered in.
Yeah.
And Antonio Brown
wasn't,
or whatever it was. So maybe they go, look, stadiums that are already built.
All new ones.
Which sucks because SoFi was just built, so that one's gonna be turf for
30
80 years. Fucking years.
Yeah, 80, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But any new stadium is built from today.
SoFi can still do it though with their translucent top though.
I think SoFi could find a way to do it because of the technology they have, but just
I get what you're saying.
If we write SoFi off and you just say, hey, look, any stadiums built from now on have to have real grass.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's the only thing they can really do.
Yeah. Which will take up to 20 years.
Yeah, because if
not more.
You think about it. How long did it take? When was the Raiders Stadium originally built?
2020.
The one before that in
in the Coliseum.
Yeah,
it was built 1965, 66.
60 years.
Yeah,
took them 60 years to get a new stadium.
Well, yeah, they moved down to the Coliseum in LA, which had been there since the 60s, and then moved back. Yeah, no, 100%.
So it's when are we going to see another new stadium? At this point.
Yeah. And there's been 7 new stadiums built in the last 5 years. You have the Falcons, the Vikings, the Cowboys were in 2009, but still it's relatively new.
Yeah.
The Raiders, the Rams, and the Chargers.
If you think about it, say the Cowboys are the oldest
Of the newer stadiums?
Of the newer stadiums.
Yeah. It's
and
only...
say 50 years. Let's just say 50 years. Or let's say 40.
Yeah.
Let's give them a short lifespan. 40 years. That means if it was built in 09, we won't see them build a new stadium.
2049. We won't even be alive. I don't think.
That's 20 years from now. 27 years from now.
Well, hopefully I'll be alive.
But you know what I mean? Like,
with 49?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's 22 right now.
Fuck, man.
So
being our age, time, it still feels like 1990 was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
So like,
holy shit.
27. I'll be 57. Is what I'll be.
In how long?
27 years.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'll be what, 63?
So it's like
62?
So what we're saying is when we're old and getting close to retirement, we'll see
the newer stadiums now being possibly.
And I was given 40 is low end.
That's super low,
especially like because the Cowboys, when they built that stadium, like the technology we have now is going to make these stadiums last longer.
You know what? But in 49 or whatever, the technology we have in the AT&T Stadium is going to be obsolete.
It's going to look like the Coliseum.
Historic, dude.
It's going to look like the Coliseum.
Crazy. And who knows if we even have an NFL then?
Yeah, well, that's what. Yeah.
You know.
So to me, it's like they're fighting. And I mean, fighting for what you want to fight for.
We're gonna have robots playing robots, and they get away with paying these $100 million salaries.
Just watching robots fight.
Just electricity and maintenance until the robots turn and kill the GMs because they're not getting all the new add-ons they want. But no, like turf is cheaper, but a lot of people don't understand is that I think it was every
they have
6 months or every year it has to be completely sanitized. Like,
yeah, and so it does. The articles I've read, there's a test. It's called like this. I can't pronounce it. Serlic test, or it starts with a C. Yeah. And so the PA does have the field tested for softness and all these things.
Well, and bacteria shit.
Yeah, and there's like a list of things. So like the softness and all these, like the bacteria, all these things. Every so often it's tested, but that doesn't. I mean, when you're for that the softness, it's for when you hit that shit. Yeah. Not for when you cut on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like so it's a moot point when it comes to the non-contact injuries.
Absolutely. Well, look, and so back to the cleanliness and shit of it though. Like where we live at, the high school got turf. Where it was after you.
So my freshman year was when it went from literally my freshman year was the first year. So 2006 was the first year that they played on turf.
Oh, so 2005 was grass. And the grass here at this high school has always been known to be potholed and divoted
it was
and
bad.
Shit. And people were probably getting more hurt on that with the divots and the holes than they would have been on the turf that you guys have now. But it went to turf, and it's beautiful turf, and it looks amazing, okay? And from what I understood, it was a senior project. Every school has their senior project. And I heard that it was a senior project, and they replaced the grass with turf, or had some way had a connection with it. I don't know.
They probably helped. I don't know because
they didn't raise the money.
I literally moved here right before freshman year, so I only know it as turf.
Gotcha. Okay, so I was here before. I didn't go to high school here, but I had been here before. I had gone and hung out and played pickup football on that field. You know, the grass, and it was fucked. But also, you were here when that field they couldn't use it.
Yeah, for a whole year or something.
A whole year. They weren't able to use that field, and they had to play all away games, huh? The high school?
Yeah.
It was all away games because every 6 months or every year, you have to do that Sterling or whatever test, and you have to re-sanitize. They have to spray the field with desanitizer, whatever it is. They have to go, whether they have a mower that pulls a trailer that pumps it out or whatnot. They also have to use a trailer that kind of fluffs the rubber pellets, and they didn't do that. The high school here, this
they
JKS town, was
didn't.
dumb
They
as
didn't
fuck.
maintain it very well.
They didn't maintain it at all, from what I understand. And that field was like, I don't know how much it was. I know it was at least, it was in the 5 digits, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they didn't get to.
It was in disrepair, dude.
Yeah, they had to fucking completely replace the whole field. Only 5 years after having it put in. Like, now I think they pay the maintenance and have it done. But that's what happens when you live in a smaller town, janky ass fucking idiots, you know? So I don't know. I'm done. I've got that Michigan Juwan Howard situation on my list, but I mean I think we're pretty good for the night, right?
Yeah. I mean,
how long have we been on for?
2 hours.
Yeah. I gotta get up and go to work in the morning. But I think that we're good.
That's it. Episode 29 in the books. So we will see you next week.
Yeah, barring anything catastrophic.
And, I mean, you know how it is.
Right.
COVID times.
Yep, family life and all that shit.
So, much love to everybody that stops by.
Big and Blizz signing out.
Peace.
Peace.